This is how the entire course of a life can be changed, by doing nothing. Truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance. Your conscience is the measure of the honesty of your selfishness. Listen to it carefully. That which we persist in doing becomes easier to do, not that the nature of the thing has changed, but that our power to do has increased. And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one. I distrust every idea that doesn't seem obsolete and grotesque to my contemporaries. People can cry much easier than they can change. Don't plan or make a financial decision that is dependent on another person without letting them know first. Friendship with oneself is all important, because without it one cannot be friends with anyone else in the world. Enchantment lies in everyday moments if you are observant. In the long run, the sharpest weapon of all is a kind and gentle spirit. We can only be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of our treasures. Life is pain, Highness. Anyone who says differently is selling something. A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. Ideas have endurance without death. Never hide things from hardcore thinkers. They get more aggravated, more provoked by confusion than the most painful truths. Don't tell me about your God with your words. Show me about your God with your actions. A rock pile ceases to be a rock pile the moment a single man contemplates it, bearing within him the image of a cathedral. A point of view can be a dangerous luxury when substituted for insight and understanding. Nobody will save you. Some can't even save themselves. You can't find someone who doesn't want to be found. Sometimes the hardest part isn't letting go, but rather learning to start over. Never allow a person to tell you no who doesn't have the power to say yes. You'll never find a rainbow if you're looking down. Atheism, a religion dedicated to its own sense of smug superiority. The purpose of life is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience. I had to learn to live without you, and I couldn't make sense of it, because I left so much of me inside of you. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Have faith, when you have nothing else, have faith. I wonder if that's how darkness wins, by convincing us to trap it inside ourselves, instead of emptying it out. I don't want it to win. If you ever find yourself in the wrong story, leave. Each man should frame life so that it's in future our fact and his dreaming mate. Do not confuse healthy detachment with avoidance. In my opinion, the difference between the two is acceptance and acknowledgement. Do not get obsolete like an old technology, keep innovating yourself. When you want something, the entire universe conspires to help you achieve it. I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. Skill is only developed by hours and hours of work. All that happens means something. Nothing you do is ever insignificant. Sometimes things happen to people and they're not equipped to deal with them. It is unwise to be too sure of one's own wisdom. It is healthy to be reminded that the strongest might weaken and the wisest might err. It is not a daily increase, but a daily decrease. Hack away at the inessentials. If you only shine light on your flaws, all your perfects will dim. Rejection should be a means of improvement and not a way to feel dejected. When a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. The world is not a pleasant place to be without someone to hold and be held by. Sometimes you just have those days where everything goes wrong. But sometimes, and totally unexpectedly, something can go right. Sometimes it's not enough to know what things mean. Sometimes you have to know what things don't mean. One swallows the lie that flatters, but sips the bitter truth drop by drop. People are going to say what they want to say and think what they want to think, and I can't change their minds. We fool ourselves so much we could do it for a living. Face your life, its pain, its pleasure. Leave no path untaken. Sadness is sometimes the start to eternal happiness. The goal is timeless. Chase the moment, and you lose. I believe there is another world waiting for us. A better world. And I'll be waiting for you there. To be the best, you must be able to handle the worst. Man starts over again every day, in spite of all he knows, against all he knows. Stop longing. You poison today's ease, reaching always for tomorrow. Success to me is being happy, truly fulfilled, being proud of myself, and doing different things all the time. Wisdom is having things right in your life and knowing why. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. It's partly true, too, but it isn't all true. People always think something's all true. If you are not the hero of your own story, then you're missing the whole point of your humanity. A thing can be true and still be desperate folly. Hazel. You can't do anything about the length of your life, but you can do something about its width and depth. A doctrine of expression rather than one of suppression makes a stronger appeal to man. An intelligent man is one who acknowledges his intelligence as that of those who surround him. Life is not a matter of holding good cards, but of playing a poor hand well. I want to drag knives over my skin, just to feel something other than shame, but I'm not even brave enough for that. The flower that blooms in adversity is the rarest and most beautiful of all. Bringing joy to another lights 1,000 suns within. The worst part about being lied to is knowing you weren't worth the truth. Understanding is the reward of faith. Therefore, seek not to understand that you may believe, but believe that you may understand. Dining with the king, your attire, attitude, and mentality must change. No human being will ever know the truth, for even if they happened to say it by chance, they would not know they had done so. Growth is in a series of mistakes. That's the only way you learn. Despite its dark veins, the transparency of dragonflies' wings assures me of a pure, innocent world. As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so life well used brings happy death. The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. Sometimes life is too hard to be alone, and sometimes life is too good to be alone. To leave, after all, was not the same as being left. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Death is the easy part. The hard part is living and knowing you could be so much more than you're willing to be. You cannot be lonely if you like the person you're alone with. Our business in life is not to succeed, but to continue to fail in good spirits. Life's like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing, keep pretending. Any war that requires the suspension of reason as a necessity for support is a bad war. A lie, sometimes, can be truer than the truth, which is why fiction gets written. How people treat you is their karma, how you react is yours. Suspect each moment, for it is a thief, tiptoeing away with more than it brings. When we are most alone is when we embrace another's loneliness. Better to die fighting for freedom than be a prisoner all the days of your life. Everything that is done in this world is done by hope. Your words will either give you joy or give you sorrow, but if they were spoken without regret, they give you peace. It's such a shame to waste time. We always think we have so much of it. Brainstorming cannot be done until and unless an attitude becomes character. In practical life, we are compelled to follow what is most probable. In speculative thought, we are compelled to follow truth. In truth, Freud sees nothing and understands nothing. They can't tell so much about you if you got your eyes closed. Living a princely life requires that you learn to think and reason like the prince, talk and behave like him, react like him as well. Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get.